So you think you know Boulder, but I'm going to tell you the top 5 things that shock people and they didn't know before they moved here. I'm Michael with Lovato Properties, and I'm going to share with you actual things that clients have shared with me. Not the stuff you find on Google or ChatGPT. This stuff's coming to you straight from the mouth of the person that moved here and said, I didn't know that. So right out of the gate, I'm talking this place draws high achievers, and that's not something you expect. And I don't just mean in any one field. I'm talking elite, world-class athletes at your next door. Then I'm talking about high-level academics that are world-leading in their field. Then I'm talking about startups, companies that have started right here in town, have gone to take over the world. I'm not kidding. This is excellence. What about kids? We see kids involved with sports that are the best in the business, the best in the country. So all of those are here, and that can be a very good thing, very motivating. But what I've heard from some of my clients who moved here from out of state, they're like, oh my gosh, that really puts things in perspective. I felt good about myself until I moved here. In fact, one of my clients recently said she was up running early in the morning, ran 3 miles, felt great about the way she started her day, and then at the end of the run, she gets blown by 5 or 6 retirees, in other words, old folks, that are breezing through, just chatting away, and they ran 8 miles. Of course, she knows because she stopped to ask them, so she's fitting right into that Boulder culture right from the outset. But that can be overwhelming. So if you're not into that drive, it's gonna shock you when you get here. I bet it does. So don't be surprised if you're out socially and you ask someone what they do and they say, well, I founded 2 companies, I just climbed Denali, oh, and I ran a 100-mile ultra last week, or by the way, I'm an Olympian. All that is commonplace here in Boulder. So another big shock once you move here is you'll realize that Boulder runs very early. And I don't just mean literally running, although that is part of it, but it gets going very early. This town, folks are getting up and they're doing their sunrise run or pre-sunrise run. They're out there at the coffee shop by 6:30. Trailheads by 7 a.m. are packed. And then if you're talking about cyclists, well, they're out there doing their hill repeats before work or before school. And so all of this happens in the morning because folks want to take advantage of their time outside before they hit the day. But on the flip side of that, that means that no one's doing anything after 9 o'clock or 9:30. If you're going to a restaurant, you're trying to be there till 10, 10:30, 11, crickets. People are already at home sleeping, and that is a real thing. When I first moved here, I'll share this. Amanda and I tried to go out on New Year's, and there was nothing going on. Now, this was 25 years ago, but there was nothing going on. We had to see our friends in Denver because it was a sleepy town. That's still really the vibe here. Early to bed, early to rise. That's Boulder. Don't be surprised. So one other big shock that people talk about when they move here is that Boulder is actually smaller than they feel. So while it does kind of look like, hey, 100,000 people is a bigger town, there's no anonymity, or there's very little. And that means you're going to probably run into your kid's teacher at the grocery store or a coworker at the trailhead. If you're used to kind of hiding in the big city elements and being sort of anonymous, that doesn't happen so much here. It can be good and bad, but it is a surprise. Folks know what's going on. It's a small, small world here in Boulder. So I've got a question for you. If you've already moved to Boulder, what was the biggest surprise that you felt? Or if you're thinking about moving here, what's the biggest thing that you're worried about overcoming or that you think would surprise you? Leave it in the comments here. I'd love to hear what's bothering you or what has maybe been on your mind. So folks think they can move to Boulder and just quickly change something up from a property standpoint. I'll buy this old house and fix it into my dream home. But realistically, the renovation reality is really tough here, and that shocks people. And what I mean by that is a lot of our homes are built in the 50s and 60s, and those floor plans can be super restrictive. Lower ceilings, compartmentalized, various rooms. With rooms comes walls, and I can say that one of our clients came in and they said, oh, no problem, I'm gonna take that wall down, open up the kitchen, but guess what? Load-bearing wall, need a structure engineer, need to pay someone else to finish out the design, to put a beam in, to make sure that they can get that done, and then guess what? They gotta go to City of Boulder for the permitting. Costly, time-intensive, everything can sometimes be prohibitive. So I just think that folks are surprised that that renovation is not an easy process. Sometimes folks just opt for the easier, pay more money and jump right into what they want. But that's a big shock that folks find here, is that you just can't change stuff up with a snap of a finger. In some cities, if you want to get together with friends, you say, hey, let's go grab a drink, let's go out for dinner. Here in Boulder, it's a little different. It's, hey, would you like to go for a run? Would you like to do a ski weekend with me? How about going for a hike? Or what about a kid's soccer tournament? Or what about we socialize around any other outdoor activity that you can think of? If that's appealing to you, then you'll be pleasantly surprised when you get here. If it's not appealing to you and you prefer a more traditional socializing schedule, then Boulder's gonna surprise you. It's really not about that indoor activity so much as it is out doing stuff that we love. So a final shock is how hard it is to leave Boulder. We have heard from folks that have left or have tried to leave Boulder because of cost of living, convenience, or just how restricted they felt. And they mentioned how much they really miss Boulder. They miss that tight-knit community. They miss that health vibe. They miss folks saying hi on the trails. They miss that. That's hard to leave behind. And then also folks have said, oh my gosh, I've left. I've got to get back. Well, that could be tied to what we famously here know as Chief Niwot's curse. Chief Niwot once said that once you have lived in Boulder Valley, you'll never be happy anywhere else. And we have seen that ring true for a lot of folks. So surprise, surprise, once you come, you can't leave. So let's be honest, none of these shocks are necessarily bad or negative. They're just surprises. They're just things that I want you to know ahead of time to help you weather that transition, help you make that move more seamlessly. So those are the things to look out for and to prepare for. Again, I'm Michael with Lovato Properties, and if you want some help navigating the ins and outs and really understanding what it's like to be here, not just the postcard or the Instagram version, but if you want to really feel what it's like to live here, reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you and help you through that journey. Just DM me, call me, send me an email, and I'd love to help.